Hey, comic book fans, and welcome to another episode of Off the Rack. I'm Sal.
And I'm Tiffany.
This is a comic book review show where we take the comic books from the past week and we talk about them and review them and let you know what we thought about them, and then recommend comics that are coming out this week that we think you should check out. Also, we have a book of the week, whatever we think is an outstanding book of distinction of that week. We will talk about it and highlight it, and then we also want to mention this show is sponsored by viewers like you. If you're watching the show live, you can sponsor today's show by using Super Chats. Ask a question or comment, we'll read it here on the show. You'll be like the third member of the channel, and it'll be part of the show forever. In addition to that, we want to mention a few things before we get started. So yes, apologies for all the gobbledygook before we get into the comic books, but we also talk about news and stuff. But and I have a little bit of news to talk about.
You have some news?
Yeah, a little bit.
What's up?
A little bit. But before we do, I wanted to mention that this Wednesday at Zap Comics in Wayne, New Jersey, I will be on hand to sign copies of Terminator #1 because I provided a 10-page backup that is broken up into 2-page intervals per issue. So the first 2 pages of my 10-page backup are in the backup of the first issue of Terminator, which drops this Wednesday. So if you want to physically be there and get your copy at the Wayne, New Jersey area, go to Zap Comics between 5 and 7 p.m. and I'll be on hand to sign some autographs and do some selfies and whatnot, and it'll be a grand old time. In addition to that, on Friday, if you're thinking, no, New Jersey's too far, well, no problem. I've got a big virtual event for you on Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. I will be doing a live show with Joshua Williamson, writer of DC All In and Dark Crisis and so forth.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, he's a good guy. But I'll be talking to Joshua Williamson. Well, Josh and I are going to do our show. We have a show here on this channel called All Stars. We're going to do a special live edition of All Stars. If you don't remember, we did it not too long ago, a couple months ago, and we had a grand old time at a bunch of special surprise guests, and went on for about 4 hours. We're going to do the same thing this week on Friday. So if you join us around 1 p.m. Eastern, Josh and I are going to be on hand with a couple of surprise guests and a couple of announcements as well for a special live edition of All Stars. So be sure to check that out here on this channel, ComicPop Returns, and you'll that's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's a lot. This is like a lot this week.
Yeah,
this
it's
week
a big week.
lot.
I got a lot going on. I got a lot of shows to be on. I got a lot of places to be, and then it's New York Comic Con time.
Yeah.
And thankfully,
also like All In came out this week.
Came out.
And like, let's be honest, this is a comic book show and I love it. But this is literally all that my brain can think about.
Yeah, if you get it,
then you know that tomorrow is going to be like an exciting and also terrifying trial for me.
Yeah. Something's
either going to be like made even greater or like torn down slightly. We'll find out.
No, it's true.
Reviews are in and they're good, but it's my review.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what they think. It's how you feel about this.
Yeah, for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
You've been very excited about it to the point where you were playing a kind of like fan remastered edition of the game.
It's not even a kind of. That's exactly what it is. Okay. There's a group out there who created the enhanced edition of the original Silent Hill 2. If you own the PC version, you could put that on your computer and then you go and get their enhanced edition of it. They've been working on it for years. I played the enhanced edition in 2020, when I did my last preview or playthrough. It was literally like 4.5 years ago. It was in April 2020. I was like, wow, what? Came around again, was replaying it. They made so many new upgrades to it. I think it's like 4K now.
Wow.
You can do like 60 frames per second. I was like, what?
How'd you like it?
I love the enhanced edition. I think it's perfect. I think it's just incredibly well done. And that game always gets me because there's always randomized sounds that can occur in the game, and so you don't get used to them, and then they get you. Yeah. There was definitely a couple jump scares for me, sound wise.
Sure,
sound stuff. Yeah.
Well, if you want to watch Tiffany play that, you can go to youtube.com at ComicPop Plays and check out the replay of her live play of that game.
And please join me tomorrow because tomorrow's gonna be a very emotional day for me.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's gonna be an emotional day. I need my emotional support chat.
So join us tomorrow live on youtube.com at ComicPop Plays and on twitch.tv/ComicPop if you prefer one over the other. I pay attention to
both chats, so come on by.
Exactly. It all gets filtered into one chat, so you'll be able to hear your voice heard if you are interested in chatting. But yeah, as far as the news is concerned, more bad news about the omnibuses from the Marvel DC front.
Do we know that for sure?
Yeah, it's pretty much official, but it's not official, but we got some updates about the Marvel, DC, and Amalgam omnibuses that are coming out. These are, of course, reported through Bleeding Cool, and so take it with a grain of salt. But they removed the Amalgam omnibus, the regular edition, the DC Marvel crossovers. That omnibus is still on track to drop pretty much at the end of this month. So I'm very excited to get my copy. I've seen those copies in the wild. The Amalgam edition, that's where things get messed up. And there's nothing
that's
to
like
do.
The one that you're like less excited about.
I am less excited about that one anyways, but it is also like it represents so much for me. So I'm like, I'm hyped
go ahead.
for them both to come out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was removed from the edition, from the Amazon listings because apparently there were like horrendous printing errors. Like really, like the kind of printing errors where like someone should have been fired. That kind of conjecture and hearsay that was used to describe the printing errors that were on display for the original Amalgam omnibuses that were on track to come out around the same time.
Well, I mean,
so they're being pulped.
What, like, I don't know. It's an interesting way to put it.
Yeah.
Like a printing error.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, because we've gotten some books that have printing errors where it's like they reprinted the same 3 pages or something like that.
Right.
Or they were missing pages or
But it's like an interesting way to put it without more details. It's very difficult to tell. Is this like a printing error on the printer's side?
They say it was entirely the printing issue. Like the issue was, and supposedly, reportedly, that the issues were like, it wasn't just a simple upload a PDF and get it fixed. It was like, my guess is it was an error on the printing side of it. But again, it's all
that's difficult to say though. So I mean, like regardless of PDF or not, like if they ran it, they'd have to pulp it no matter what. So it's like it's just a really weird way to to say that. It's not a simple upload a PDF to fix. It's like I don't know if you know this, but if it is on the file creator side, you're gonna have to send them a new PDF no matter what. It's just a really weird thing to say.
Yes,
right.
I agree.
It's very strange to me. If it's on the printer side, it could have been a number of things.
Oh yeah,
it could have been they sized something incorrectly. It could have been that there's like something happened with the file type and it's like the coloration is off on it entirely.
It could be missing blue. You don't know.
It could be missing an entire section.
Yeah.
That can happen. Like, oops.
Exactly.
There's a boatmobile in there. Moderator Danielle.
Yeah. What reference is she making?
Funny.
But definitely check out my conversation with Tom King to find out what the boatmobile is all about.
But it's just that PDF extra. I can't tell if that's like something that they heard. Like,
right. Like that sounds like a phone call. That sounds like a. Let me just put it this way. It's not like we could have just uploaded it.
But like, it's like that doesn't mean anything to me. Like I'm like
having been to the printers before,
having had printing errors. It's like if it like no matter what, you're probably gonna need unless it's literally on.
I think it was probably just like it was like a color issue. Like it was like a printing issue where it's like we ran out of cyan.
So here's the thing about it. Like the way they run prints like that, like after X amount of like runs on it, they grab some off to check.
Oh yeah. And they were like, "This is a disaster." Like that is how it is being reported.
All those copies, that means they were already in the binding process.
Oh yeah, no, they were. Which is like, how do you miss that?
Holy shit! Maybe they bound it out of order.
That would not surprise me. Where it's like, yes, you could not just upload a new PDF.
Yes,
it's like no, you bound it wrong.
Like we bound it, and like maybe that's what happened.
Maybe
it got to the binding. It's probably is it soft cover or hardcover?
It's hardcover. No, it's big. No, it's stitching and everything.
Yeah, that might have been bound incorrectly because at that point there's nothing else you can do. Like,
right, you have to just destroy them and then start over from scratch. But again, it was just like I had already been on the camp of, oh my God, I wonder if this will ever come out, to, oh my God, it got delayed to October, to, oh my God, 50% of these things isn't coming out at all.
Yeah, but one of them is.
But it's going to happen. It has
nothing to do necessarily with legal, which initially I thought it might be.
Yeah, no, I can imagine that being really the problem. It's just like,
but
Marvel eventually just said no.
Yeah, but it seems like this was just literally like this is like a cursed book.
Yeah,
right. Like it's just cursed.
Right.
It's worked so hard, but you know what though? Doesn't that make it all the more epic when it does come out? Like it just creates all this. You're living history right now, chat.
Yeah, and it gives you
community out there. You're part of comic book history. If you've ordered this, you're living it right now.
And you're getting an opportunity because I think each of them is like $150 a piece. You get in time to save up and then buy the next one.
Yeah.
Basically, I mean, they were asking you to basically drop like $300 for 2 big books.
Yeah, you get to see the one that comes out, and then when they put the other one back up, you can decide if you want to pre-order it then.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Honestly, this could be some brilliant marketing for them, except for the fact that as long as they don't have
Except
to pay
that it
for it,
makes people look incompetent.
or it puts that printer under, which I hope not.
Yeah, because you're talking like,
That's
several
a lot.
forests worth of
That's
trees.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a shame. But that's some news. So yeah, they're saying that
That's an incredible comment.
yeah, it's very true. That the story about Amalgam is much more interesting.
Once again.
Yeah, once again. Unfortunately, I heard apparently that like it might be updated to, they're saying December 2024, but the rumor is that we're looking at like deep into 2025 for it to come out, which again is a real shame.
But maybe not. Maybe
Maybe
again, maybe to give some folks a chance to be like, okay, I maybe had to pick and choose because they were expensive omnibuses. Like, I'm gonna get this one, and now it's like, well,
and really, you should just get the DC versus Marvel one anyway, because that's the one to get. It's got more fun crossovers in it anyway. But so anyway, that's the news that's fit to print as far as that's concerned. Let's jump into some comics that are out.
Why don't we do that?
Right.
Nothing big came out this week.
No, there were no big conclusions or beginnings of initiatives or
Not
stories.
At all. Nothing.
It's
like, what did we even read?
Exactly. I did read Batman 153.
Okay.
This one was from Chip Zdarsky and Jorge Jimenez.
Yeah.
It is part of the it's part of the All In initiative, I suppose, because it has the lettering up there. It says it on the book on the corner box.
There it is.
Yeah. Man, I remember it. Oh, look, they got the triangle too.
I was literally about to point out the triangle for 2 reasons. One, that makes me think old.
Yeah,
2,
you're supposed to.
Does it bother anyone else that the triangle isn't the same width as the banner above it?
Yeah, but it does. I mean,
maybe that's what it's supposed to do.
I think it's supposed to.
But I think it's a personal thing.
Originally, the triangle that wasn't.
Stop.
Originally, the triangle was not part of the corner box. It was like lower. It was its own thing.
Yeah, it was like down.
Yeah, I like the idea of incorporating the triangle into the banner to make it kind of like it's almost like a I don't know, a bookmark or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's aesthetically pleasing. I'm a fan. Seeing the old DC logo on a Batman comic on a corner box, the way
is it blowing your mind?
I love it. I think it's great. It looks right.
Are these Sal's mind blowers?
Maybe. But yeah, so this is more of, I think, Chip cleaning house. There's some big news that came out recently. Some news that was also not I don't think it's official.
Okay.
But the rumor is that the new creative team after Chip leaves Batman, because apparently, reportedly, Chip may be leaving Batman at the end of his run might be ending soon. But in addition to that, we may have a creative team already set up to take over for Batman, and that 50% of that team, well, no, I guess 100% of that team, because 50% of it needed to draw it. But they've been working on it since April.
Oh.
That's the rumor, is that
wow.
Because the rumor is that it's Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb taking over for Batman. The same creative team behind Hush and 50% of All-Star Batman and Robin the Boy Wonder are apparently coming back to the Batman title, and they're going to do it. But that Jim Lee needed April to now to draw the book. Oh, and they're moving back to a monthly schedule.
Listen, that's fine. That's what? Oh, wow. Are they not monthly right now?
No, they come out twice a month.
Oh, geez, I can't.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, if that's true, what? Second of all, if that's true, I just feel like you hang on to that one.
Yeah.
You just Jim, Jeff,
just finish
do your
it.
thing, and we're gonna get someone else for the time being.
Yeah.
And the next time that we need to see some boosted numbers, guess what's coming out?
Yeah, we just dropped this series. I mean, yeah. The thing is, I agree with you.
Does this overshadow what this initiative is doing right now?
Well, now
it seems like a stunt.
Yeah. I mean, it is a stunt. But also, I would have suggested this idea, and I thought it would have been like a slam dunk. It were it not for things like the Earth 1 books, where it's like, oh man, Jeff Johns and Gary Frank doing a friggin' Batman book, and then it just dropping out of nowhere and it being a complete thing. They did well, but again, they didn't do well month to month. They did well when it dropped, and then that was the end of it, and it was long forgotten. Not unlike dropping an entire Marvel Netflix series in one day and then finding out that no one cares 2 weeks later.
I understand.
But I also do strongly believe in the graphic novel initiative, and I think that if you were going to try and like juice numbers, a graphic novel by Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee about Batman would have been friggin'.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean drop it.
No,
like that.
You're just saying sit on an entire like run of Batman just in the wings. The problem is it's all part of continuity.
In the Batwings.
Yes, in the Batwings. But
I don't know if it is. I guess
it has to be.
I guess
it's month to month. No,
but like, here's the thing. No matter what, that first issue
is gonna sell like crazy.
Like insane.
Absolutely.
It's just,
I'm gonna buy it.
I feel like there's no way.
No, it can't. I mean, it can't not. I think it's gonna sell like gangbusters. I hope so. The Absolute Batman, the Absolute Unit of Batman. Apparently, the numbers are good, great, even sold out at the distributor level already.
Fantastic.
And so, I hope people like it. I've read it and it's great. I can say that it's awesome and worth pre-ordering, or at least it was when it was up for pre-order back in September. But now we have. We'll get a copy.
I'll read it when it comes out.
Exactly. You haven't read? I didn't give it to you.
Oh. I did read yours.
Oh yes, you did. Yes, because we'd also have the preview for Terminator #1, which drops this Wednesday, alongside Absolute Batman. So yeah, pick it up when you're out there. But anyway, this book is more or less, for me, it's funny because I would have assumed, based on like the last arc or two of Chip Zdarsky's Batman run, that he's pulling a Nick Spencer, where he's like, and not like the Hail Hydra Nick Spencer, the house cleaning for Spider-Man, house cleaning for Batman Nick Spencer, where it's like, we got to get all this crap back to normal. Like right now, Jim Gordon is still a private detective, but Harvey Bullock used to work with him, but now he's back at the GCPD. Vandal Savage, the known supervillain, is the commissioner of Gotham. So he'll probably be arrested or killed sometime during Chip's exit from the series.
Sure.
Leaving a vacancy open for, let's say, a grizzled out-of-work private detective named Jim Gordon. Yes. The mayor, we've talked about this actually on an episode that's dropping on Wednesday, about how the mayor of Gotham doesn't matter, and it's like annoying that there's a character that they invented that has like a whole like family and arcs.
It's a really weird
stuff.
Thing to say the mayor of anywhere doesn't matter.
Right. Well, I mean, like, do they?
I don't know the mayor of my own town.
I sure don't. Not personally, nor do I know his name or her name.
That's like Gotham. Like Gotham's big.
Yeah,
that's
but
like, it's the mayor of a city.
But it's never mattered. It's never mattered who that mayor is. but Mayor Nakano dies in this Batman issue. And it's like there was a moment where I was reading this, and like, because Mayor Nakano is dealing with Vandal Savage, and he suddenly grows a backbone. Like Vandal Savage is like, hey man, you got to do all this, that, and the other thing, because we own you, because also we're being controlled by the Court of Owls. And I'm like, oh my god, the Court of Owls is coming back too.
I mean, why not?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. But so that's happening, and Nakano is like, oh, I'm gonna fix your goose, and then they're like, oh, well, we'll reveal that you were actually cheating on your wife and whatnot.
You're gonna fix our goose?
Yeah,
I love that.
Right? Well, it's like cooking it, but
but it's better.
Exactly.
I'm gonna fix your goose.
I'm gonna fix your goose.
Your goose has got a problem.
Yeah,
I'm gonna fix it.
I'll fix it. Why not? But Nakano is like, oh, I'm gonna do this, that, and the other thing, and then like his family comes in, and you're like, oh, and I remember just actively going, oh my god, who cares about this guy and his family? And then he's a corpse at the end of the issue, and I'm like, oh my god. Like, I'm just applauding every issue of this run right now, where I'm like, thank you for putting things back the way they belong. Coincidentally, right around the time where possibly Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb's Batman might show up. A kind of run that you'd want in like a graphic novel that could be evergreen and would feature, like classic characters. I wouldn't be surprised if Alfred came back to life at the end of this run. Just in time, because Jeff Loeb ain't reading this shit month to month.
Yeah.
Jeff Loeb ain't reading this shit at all. Like he's like, I'm sorry, I haven't read Batman since 2008.
He's like, so
you're gonna have to clue me in. And they're like, hey, oh, you know what? Actually, you're not, because I don't watch comic book YouTube, and I don't care because I'm Jeff Loeb.
So
just it's gonna be
no Damien, Alfred's back, Jim's
the commissioner.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're gonna do. Like I'm calling it now. So I'm excited, because that's what I want. Not necessarily that I want like, Jeff Loeb's Batman again.
Like Jim Lee might be like, Jeff, we can't do that, man.
Why?
I don't know.
But I've already written it. It's already done. So yeah, I'm. This is a fun book. Obviously, Jorge Jimenez's art is fantastic, but this is like a really fun cover. Like this cover is a good indication that like we're starting fresh. We're doing this
What
fresh
makes you
new
say
arc.
that?
I think because there's a stark white background, iconic image of Batman,
Okay.
classic costume, no other gobbledygook. You got the All In Initiative logo on there. Like, this is all saying to you, like, you can jump on here and start fresh. You can't, by the way, but you could if you want to, I guess. I'm just saying, like, because you're going to go, why is Vandal Savage in charge? Who the hell are they referring to when it comes to, like, Batman's brother? What about the Court of Owls? Is all, like, what's happening? Who the hell's the dude with the eye patch? Oh, wait, he died. Who cares? Like, whatever. It's just, you can't just jump on, but you can. Like, I don't know. It's a weird period for Batman and for DC in general. But I'm enjoying this certainly more than the last little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think what's sad is, like, no one's really talking about it, or at least I haven't really caught a lot of discussion about, like, Chip's Batman run outside of people being like, people whinging the way that I have been whinging about Batman for, like, the better part of a decade. And so I'm like, I wonder if people will be more generous with this run when it's over.
Right.
Like, the inverse would maybe of the Daredevil run for Chip Zdarsky, where everyone was talking about it while it was happening, and then it ended, and now no one talks about it. I think that perhaps people will enjoy this run after it has concluded.
Right.
Going like, it's an oft forgotten, because I will say, I kind of like it. Like, by and large.
I don't like the part you told me and Ethan about.
I know the Batman of Gotham is not a high
fan.
point in that series, but it has, like, a couple of high moments in it, fun stuff. Like, I love Failsafe, and I not necessarily love Failsafe as a character, but I love the arc. And so there's some stuff here that I think might work. But I mean, the Snyder Capullo run, is a book that I was highly critical of, but a run that I significantly like.
Yeah.
Especially compared to Tynan's run or any other run really for a while.
Yeah.
On just the Batman title. I don't want to hear about, Round V's detective.
Right.
That's a completely different animal. But yeah, so I recommend this. I think it's definitely worth jumping on, because if this is Chip's last hurrah for Batman, then he's going to leave it it's going to end in a bang.
Yeah.
And that bang might also fix everything that I've been complaining about Batman for a while.
Okay.
So I'm down.
All right. Amazing.
Yeah, right? What have you got? What did you read?
I read a couple of things this week, beyond just the obvious of All In and End of Absolute. But I read DC Horror Presents Creature Commandos #1.
Nice.
Written by David Dastmalchian.
Oh, Dastmalchian. Yes, he's the actor.
Oh, that explains a lot about this book. With art by Jesus Hervas. Hey, listen, first of all, art looks great. It's really fun. It's pulpy. It's gritty. It's, colorful, action-packed. Book looks really, really fun. It looks like it's like hearkening back to another era.
And it's synergistic.
We don't use those words around here. So the problem is with the writing is that it's a little rough at times.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't have the flow of, like, your kind of standard book, which maybe struggle a little bit, but, like, it's cute. Like, it's giving Suicide Squad, kind of, not really. It's like, got like this got this branch of the government, and they're studying certain creatures, but we don't believe in supernatural. It's all about science, whatever. So we're gonna go pick up a vampire and a werewolf. We're gonna send everybody out, and then they're gonna go do it's that. And I'm like, the premise of it, I'm like, it's cute. It fits the art style because it makes you think of, like, that sort of, like, campy time period for some of these horror books, right?
Yeah.
So it totally works. I just wish the writing was a little tighter.
Yeah.
On it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
But, like, it's definitely coming out right time of the year. People are looking for this type of thing. Obviously, they want a book out there, of course, that has something to do with the
Creature Commandos, because there's an animated movie coming out.
Absolutely. But it doesn't come off as being a really obvious tie-in.
No.
Or like a direct.
Well, it doesn't look like it.
No. You know what I mean?
The only way you'd know is because it has the same name.
Yeah, like, it's very much like, okay, we are doing this thing, but it's not so derivative. It's not just
we're not just doing take the lineup and then we just hand it to David and he just writes whatever the hell fits all these characters.
Exactly.
No, because I don't think, like, everyone on this is in the movie. So that's cool.
But like I said, like it's definitely giving a bit of Suicide Squad, and like Brainiac's in it for some reason, and I'm
Oh,
like, okay,
all right.
why not?
That's
Sure,
something.
sure. It's only 6 issues. You
Mhm.
know, it's up to you if you want to check this out. I do get it though. It's a heftier DC price tag.
Mhm.
You know, it's $5 or so, whatever,
Okay.
depending on where you're at.
Yeah.
But like, I guess it's a little longer. You know, because there's a backup. The backup, by the way, has to do with AEW Presents.
Yes.
So it's like this wrestling,
Tie-in.
yeah, which is like I get putting something in the back of the book, like something like that.
Yep.
But if I'm picking up a horror book and there's gonna be a backup, my
Mhm.
hope would be that it would be horror themed.
Oh,
and
sure.
It was not. And
No.
so I did not read the
It's a little
backup.
weird. But there is an AEW tie-in. I think AEW did like a promotion for DC and for All In on their show. And so I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Right? Yeah. So, you know, if
All right.
that's your kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
back there.
But you read it. So
I didn't read that part.
No, but you read the Creature Commandos.
Yeah, I read Creature Commandos. Like I said, like it's like pulpy
yeah.
feeling. And again, I just wish the script was a little tighter.
Yeah, I hear you.
Anyway.
I read Storm.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
I did not
number
get
one
a chance.
by Marewa Iodele. I'm sorry. I appreciate you so
Ayodele?
Ayodele? I think that's right. And art by Lucas Wernick. This is the debut of Storm's book, her own book.
But isn't she also on the Avengers? Is she
yeah,
like,
no, she's around.
Is she pulling like a Wolverine?
She is pulling a Wolverine
right now?
Oh yeah, big time.
Where
yeah,
Wolverine's like, hi, my superpower has nothing to do with adamantium or healing factor. My superpower is I can be everywhere.
Yes. Yes. Bendis's Wolverine once said on New Avengers, his mutant power actually is multitasking. So you're right on the you're right in there. But yeah, no, this is a book that it justifies Storm having her own book. The idea is that Storm, she mutant relations are bad. This also has it carries that theme along with it.
Yep.
It says from the ashes on the top of the book. A character from X-Force appears in this and helps her out, and they also offer to like call X-Force in. I'm like, hey, that's the other book I'm reading.
Yep.
So that sounds fun. But so Storm basically like ends up rescuing a town, and there's a power plant nearby, and there was at the epicenter was a problem. It was a mutant whose mutant abilities like generate, the mutant created the problem and caused the reactor to break down and cause the issues with this town and destroy it. And there was a cover-up which implied that instead of it being a mutant at the epicenter, it was an alien tech that the company was using. And so everyone was kind of like, oh, like, yeah, well, you can't trust alien tech. That's fair. Like, that sucks. And hooray for Storm for saving the day.
Right.
And, Storm has like her status quo is she has like a nature preserve that she lives in, that she like runs, and so she's like just there's this great moment where she like addresses the people by like exiting her house, which has like costumes everywhere of what she's dressed like, and her doors have like her being awesome on them, and opens the door with the wind, and just epic godlike stuff from Storm. Just like, yo, I ran a Racco. I'm a goddess. And but anyway, so she's like, I need to tell the truth about what happened, because like that's what we do. Like and also if it's a cover up, people will be upset.
Right.
And basically, she does and loses everybody. Like because like Storm is kind of like helping by being awesome and having this preserve and being and rescuing this town. Even those people who were like Orcus boosters, because there was a dude like wearing an Orcus t-shirt that's rescued as well.
Sure.
Like, we save everybody. We don't discriminate. She was doing a lot for like mutant human relations, where people were kind of like, well, at least there's Storm, she's cool.
Yeah.
But when Storm was like, no, there was a mutant at the core of the issue, they were like, boo. Like everyone just left. Like the crowd dispersed. Like there was and mutant relations did even worse. And so it's just it's tragic, and but Storm of course can carry it. And then there's an implication that she'll also become like a space goddess as well. Like there's kind of like this like little button at the end of the issue that's like, we're doing this new status quo, but also there's going to be another new status quo sometime down the line with Storm, where she's basically going to be like imbued with not the power cosmic, but something adjacent to it. It's like,
I
oh,
mean,
cool.
Galactus could pick worse.
Yeah, it wasn't Galactus, but I love the idea of like Storm. I like I like all the status quo implications that Storm has in this
like,
one
maybe
issue.
maybe this.
Yeah, I'm down for all that. That sounds cool. So yeah, but it's a fun debut. Storm handled perfectly. Her cadence, her character, her behavior, actions, all that stuff just works. The kind of like what the theme and driving force of the book seems to be works.
Right.
I'm like, all right, this is a good debut. You would have liked it. It's worth checking out.
Okay.
And I think it's a good compliment to the X-Force series.
Interesting. Okay.
Where it's like the book, like X-Force and Storm are both like working to fix the problem set aside after in the fallout from the ashes. Like X-Force and Storm are actively trying to solve the from the ashes status quo.
Right. Okay.
And yet not in a big X-Men-y kind of way.
Okay.
I mean, Storm does have her flair, but but it's still, Storm, she's one person.
Yes.
So yeah, it's cool. I dug it. I was like, all right. What else
Is that one of those like mini series, Mike?
I think it's an ongoing.
Okay, ongoing.
I assume it's ongoing.
Excellent. I read Plastic Man No More #2 this week by Chris Cantwell with art by Alex Limbs and Jacob Edgar. I'm like, hang on, there's 2 different writers for this.
No.
Man, what I know about Plastic Man could be fit into a super teeny tiny egg. And that's why I like a lot of these Black Label books, because it kind of gives you a very specific take on a character.
Yeah.
Obviously, this book talks a lot or deals with a lot with like body horror, of course, because we're dealing with Plastic Man. But really, what it seems to be dealing with is the fact that like everyone like on the Justice League just thinks like, oh, Plastic Man is funny, right? Like he's a funny guy.
A goofball.
Exactly, and that like he'll use that to hide a bit of how he's feeling or what he's going through. The fact that like he has some pretty hefty family trauma / dynamics going on,
right?
And also the fact that he's got this severe issue, and part of the reason he wants to solve it is he says it's in order to prevent it from happening to his son. He's like, I don't want to see this happen to my son. I think part of it is also his own survival. Like,
okay, sure, like how he manages to like just keep his head above water.
Yeah. But in this, we get to see him walk that line of like not being such a good guy, like being a bit of a villain, which I didn't realize was like part of his history.
Yeah,
a bit.
Yeah, he comes from like criminal origins.
Yeah,
but he wasn't like a terrible person.
Yeah. So I was a little surprised to find that out of him, of course. But with his humor and his like desire to people please, I was like, I get it. Like, you feel like you've got to
atone.
You have to atone for something. And in this, he decides what he needs is he needs to get a hold of a lot of uranium, and the way he figures to do this is to look for the metal men.
Yeah. Okay, that's fun. I noticed that in the cover. I was like, I think that's a metal man.
Yeah, it is.
Again, this is a smart move. You gotta attach your Plastic Man cart to a metal men wagon. That way, you're like, oh man, I don't know anything about either of these.
Let's go.
People.
Let's go.
Maybe they can help each other out.
Yeah, and hey, look, A. Robin shows up for a second.
Oh. That's right. I saw a preview image of this. I think it's Tim.
Yeah, I think it is Tim as well. But let's just say it doesn't go well for the Metal Men. In general, Plastic Man doesn't have like his plan is okay. We need to save uranium because he's been taken by a guy named No Face, whose whole thing is he doesn't like people's faces because they lie and they're masks. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. This is what I come to expect from this book, right? But like he's seemingly like being held by this guy, but also maybe just like not leaving. I don't know. The Metal Men and Plastic Man like launch a rescue, but like Plastic Man's working with someone else, and he's like, here's what's gonna happen. Like, we're gonna get down there, we're gonna free him, and then you're gonna initiate the plan, which allows me to abscond with
the uranium.
Yep, and then with the guy.
Oh, I see. Yes,
with uranium.
Yes.
And there we go. Like, we'll just leave, right? Like, ta-da. And the plan is to go down there. They fight, a bunch of dudes.
Mhm.
You know, the metal men show what they're made of.
Sure.
And then his partner
Test their metal.
Yeah, and then his partner in crime like initiates like a big, powerful magnet.
Oh, jeez.
And only one of them is taken down. And Plastic Man's like, wait. And they're like,
But you're all metal, and it's like, well, that doesn't work on all.
He's like, I'm gold. Like that doesn't. I'm not like we're not magnetic.
Right.
And they're like, are you a bad guy? Like what's happening here? And then because of the fact that they're using the big metal, they're all standing over this like molten metal lava thing on this, you know, walkway, and it pulls all the bolts out of it, and all the metal men fall in there.
Oh no! So he's killed all the metal men.
Yep. And his partner's like, wait a minute, like you said they couldn't die. You said if they had enough, like if they had any part of like their metal left, that they could be reconstituted. Right. And Plastic Man's like,
well,
oops.
Yep.
So yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's just we're watching like Plastic Man like unravel like his body because his powers are weird, but I think it's like he's also unraveling himself.
Right, of course.
You know, so it's interesting. This is kind of an interesting book, and I wasn't sure if from the first issue if it was going to really like draw me in, but I'm kind of like, all right, Plastic Man, where are we going with this?
Yeah.
Like what little pathway are we going to go down with you? Is it going to be like totally trauma based? Is it going to be something else? Is it? I don't know.
Yeah,
find out.
I don't know. Well, you have 2 more issues to find out. Because it's only 4 issues.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he can only hold out for so long, you know? I mean, like, dude's melting, essentially.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, let's talk more about... Let's let you keep going.
Okay, so I also read Ultimate Black Panther number 9 this week with writing, by Brian Hill with art by Stefano Caselli. Yeah, this is like I feel like it's like a sleeper, but not like I feel like people are reading it.
People are reading it, but I feel like I know I have not. I've not for any reason. I just missed it. Like every time this book comes out, I'm like, oh man, like I forgot about the Black Panther Predator book, but that one I don't need to read. I'm buying it. It's pre-ordered, so it's coming to my house. But I'm just like, oh yeah, that's shit. I forgot again.
Yep.
But this book I think is a better book.
This is a great book. This is great. I want to go back to something else. Someone mentioned Detective Chimp was in Plastic Man. Yeah, I'm really hoping that he's like, he's like, all right, what are you doing?
Yeah. How will they kill Detective Chimp in this?
No. Anyway, yeah, man, like this book is just so good, but this issue in particular at the end, because I'm sure you've all seen a splash page of the end.
I have not. I didn't see I didn't see any spoilers for this.
But this issue in particular just reminded me that this is an Ultimate Universe book. Because it's like, yes, we know the whole Khonshu thing, like we know it's like it's different, like you know, how they're dealing with Moon Knight and their role and like all very different, right? You know, Storm, Killmonger, all of it, very different. But for some reason, this issue like slapped me back to going like, this is an Ultimate Universe.
Yeah,
you
different.
don't know. Because it's like a lot of times, other than the whole Khonshu thing, these characters are filling similar roles, like, but maybe not in exactly the way you'd think.
Right.
And in this issue in particular, Aurora and Eric are going to find like a magic user, a sorcerer supreme, if you will. And they go to an Eastern European country. So like Tiffany is reading this thinking like, I know where you're going, Brian. I know where you're going with this. And it turns out Tiffany has no idea where you're going with this. And when I got to the end, I was like, I have theories, much like the rest of the internet, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
I have theories, but I don't know for certain where this is going. But we get a little bit more about Eric and Aurora, and Eric's honestly like, he's like, I gave my word. Aurora's like, we don't have to do this.
Right.
He's not our king. This isn't our fight. We don't care about vibranium. Why are we doing this? And he's like, I gave my word. So we're going to do it. And she's like,
yeah, but who made you do that?
And he chose to do it.
Right.
You know, he went for it. We also see that T'Challa is undercover. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And he's watching Khonshu as he is like recruiting villages, towns around, you know, Wakanda, being like and turning them against him.
Okay.
Right. And like he has this moment where he's wearing the suit, right?
Yeah.
Where he's incognito and he takes it off. And like Shuri's like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm sensing like your heart rate is up, that the suit is ready to go. And he's like, I could just go in there and kill him. I just kill him. I beat him down and show them show them who's in charge. And she's like, you couldn't be more alone if you tried right now. Like you're a spy basically. No one can get to you right now. Like don't do this. This is a really bad idea, right? And like he's like, you need to like, all right, fine. Like it's by your will alone. But like I gotta tell you, it feels like it's like the suit wants him to do this. And I'm like, interesting. Yeah. Right. What's up with the vibranium? Hey. So anyway, the reveals at the end is that like as Aurora and Eric are trying to get into this facility where they believe this person is being held, like there's like a huge fight that's going on, right? And as they're going through, like a lot of people are dead. And then they find someone and they're talking in these like very dark speech bubbles, right?
Oh.
And like this person is clearly not themselves. The magic user is talking through them, right?
Oh, okay.
And that person can't speak themselves. They need someone to take the gag off of their mouth. But what's revealed is someone. It's just this person.
Okay.
This woman, seemingly. And we don't get a name or anything. And that's the end of it. Now I got a couple of tells going on here, right? They're wearing what could be construed as green. Maybe it's black. I don't know. There's what like looks like runes behind them. So immediately I'm thinking, because some people were like, maybe this is Doctor Strange's like sister, because he had a sister at one point. I'm like, sure, okay, yeah. But I'm wondering if this is not Loki or Hela.
Oh, okay.
It could also be
because you're dealing with gods.
Yeah.
You got Khonshu, you got Bast, and you got and then maybe we're dealing with Asgardian.
She
gods.
does say y'all.
Right.
So that
could be another indication.
That could be another. There's a lot of potential indicators here. I have to give it up to this creative group for just doing this, just dropping this and like leaving and being see you next month.
You're right. You'll figure. Yeah. If you haven't figured it out yet, we'll tell you later.
Yeah. It could be Enchantress too. Absolutely.
Yeah. Sure.
Absolutely.
But it's
a
head scratcher.
This is a head scratcher for sure. I saw somebody online mention, they're like, what if the vibranium is like Venom in a way? And it's like controlling him? I don't know, because you're dealing with space stuff too.
Oh, interesting. So what if Spider-Man's suit is made of vibranium?
I don't know. I don't know. But I love this reveal because of the fact that they didn't tell us.
Yeah.
They give us like clues.
Yes.
Like there's clues here.
Yeah, they want you to guess. They want you to speculate.
Yeah, but I'm like, are you leading us down the wrong path on purpose? Are the runes there not for any particular reason? Are they part of a spell that they were doing and has nothing to do at all with who this character is, right?
Yeah.
I guess I feel like it's definitely not certain characters we've seen otherwhere. Like we've in Ultimate X-Men, like Nico Minoru is mentioned specifically, and that's the person, not like just her code name, right?
Yes.
Like, as a person. So I'm like, well, I guess it's not
her.
And I guess it could be Steven or Stephanie.
Right.
This is a world, but I think Strange is here, right? And he's been taken.
As far as I'm concerned, the maker created the Marvel universe.
Right. So
like
he
created the
exists.
616 universe and then changed it.
Right. But like my understanding is I think the maker actually has him somewhere, or he's been like one of the people who's been like arrested or what have you.
Okay. So Steve exists.
Right. Then I was like, if you're thinking Loki, I'm like, we have seen Loki present as a woman before.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Right. So I'm like, that would not be out of
character
for him.
Yeah.
And like you said, it also could be Enchantress. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
that's fun.
I literally can't wait to find out. Like I am thrilled. I'm like, who is this? Tell me.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
So this book just continues to surprise me
and impress.
Honestly, it's just a really, really well done book. And I sometimes I feel like, because with Spider-Man fans right now, like that's what they're looking for is Ultimate Spider-Man. Like that's like the story that they want. So it's like that's getting a lot of like big headlines, right? Ultimate X-Men is so different. It's so different that like you can't help but pay attention to it. This one always feels like it's doing such a good job of telling a strong story. It has like the Nightwing effect.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, you're like, oh yeah, okay, cool. And it's like, no,
keep reading it.
Just keep reading it.
It was, no, it's true. It's a cool book.
I mean, it could be Clea.
Yeah.
I also was hoping it was Doom, admittedly.
Oh,
I'm
sure.
like, Rudy, you're Eastern Europe.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, but Doom already is the Sorcerer Supreme in the main Marvel universe.
I know.
Did you see, by the way, there was a little preview of like the 10 deaths or the 8 deaths of Spider-Man from Doom, basically Sorcerer Supreme goes to Spider-Man because like the idea, I guess, is that like Sorcerer Supreme has to deal with like a bunch of threats. And so he's like, and Doom's like, I don't have time to deal with all of them. because I'm Doom.
Mhm.
So he imbues Spider-Man with magic, and he's like, "You deal with this." He's like, "You're gonna deal with one of these threats that I would have to do it as a Sorcerer Supreme." So Spider-Man gets a new Marvel Legends, costume, and it's part of the story. Like the part of the the new arc will be Spider-Man dealing with a magical threat.
Hey, Vic, I just want to point out Steve never had to imbue Spider-Man with powers in order to get the job done.
No, well, he's like, well, yeah, because you thought you had to do everything, but you can delegate.
It just sounds like you can't do it all.
No, I can. I just choose not to.
Oh, okay.
The strength is in not having to work it.
Oh, okay.
So,
But so work smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Doom knows. Yeah, he went to college. Absolute Power number
He
4.
did group work.
Exactly. He's had to deal with group work, and Doom was one of those people who did it all. Mark Waid, Dan Mora, the end of Absolute Power has come, and overall, this is an entirely satisfying DC event. It was fun. It was well drawn. It was consistent with every character, twists and turns, surprises and spills, thrills and chills. But no, but no genuine tension. The tension was fun and earned in the moments, but it wasn't like I was thinking, oh Jesus, what long lasting implications will this have? No. It was just, let's do an event. Let's have some fun. Let's buy some books, and sell some tie-ins that actually matter, at least in as much as they support moments that happen. Like there are moments in this book where if you didn't read Green Arrow, you don't know what the hell Amanda Waller's upset about. You don't know, what Ollie's approach has been. There's all kinds.
You'd be me.
You'd be you. If you didn't read Superman, you wouldn't know how they travel through the shadows and so forth. Like,
this is kind of explained it. I was like, magic. Got it.
I know, but you don't get to see it in all its glory in the Superman book.
Between the two things that maybe would have tricked me up, it wasn't the magic one.
Hell no. But it was fun. So I think it's a wholly successful event. Even if I don't know how it sold. I hope it sold well, but it was successful. I don't know about you, but it feels successful. You have a great writer who has done this for 30 plus years. Like Underworld Unleashed was an event written by Mark Waid, and it had tie-ins, and he managed to slam dunk that 30 years ago. Yeah. And this is still, but it still feels modern and not, cemented in time. It's not a weird kind of anachronistic kind of event. No, it feels like an event from today. Felt like more of a Marvel event. I don't know I don't know if I have a good definition of what that means.
Okay.
But it felt more like a Marvel event than DC events have felt lately.
I think what you mean is it didn't feel like a crisis.
Well, yeah. It just felt like a thing that happened to DC that also has implications, or at least had setup. It's just yeah. And it wasn't also a line-wide initiative. It was just here's a thing that happened to the heroes, and it's all here. It's all self-contained.
Yeah.
But also sprawling and matters. And I'm like, yeah.
I mean, it has, like I said, it has the I'm an event hallmarks where oh no, everyone's really in trouble. Okay, everybody gather in a big room. Everybody be on different levels so that we can all be looking at one person. Yep. Someone's going to triumphantly give a speech and tell people what to do, and let them know, and let you know that those might happen in a tie-in. And
they definitely will, and did, and you could pick them up on sale now. But yeah, Dan Mora's art was great. It was fun to see him doing a big event and have to carry big cool moments that also just feature characters that don't have finger lasers or anything. It was just Amanda Waller yelling is just as awesome and compelling as Batman using crazy technology to defeat the bad guy. This is cool. In the end of the day, everybody gets saved. The big reveal is how the powers are taken, and it's just they use time trapper technology to rewind time. They take your power. What is it? They
No, it doesn't reveal he doesn't reveal how they took the powers.
No.
He reveals how they were the bots were preparing themselves.
That's it.
Which made Batman realize that he could take that and exploit it by making them go back so much farther that they never got the powers.
Which is
I literally can't wait for you to tell Ethan that part.
I know.
It's going to make him
funny.
mad.
I think that's great. I love that moment. Yeah, yeah, they literally go back in time to the point when they weren't damaged by the heroes they're fighting. That's so funny.
Right.
And I love the idea of them just being like, oh well, then we'll just roll your internal chronometer back to before you had powers in the first place. And
Mhm.
then, but like a Bendis event like House of M, like that energy had to go somewhere. And so it's
Mhm.
like, we more or less, and that's where I'm like a little fuzzy because like some characters don't get their powers back, whereas others get powers from sources unknown.
So no. Hang on. I think that this is setting up something for the main DC universe to do if someone wants to deal with
Sure.
it, right? Because what they did was they went ahead and they're like, everybody got their powers back. But it's like every time you have one of these things, right? You've seen this just trope a million times, like, oh no, our powers are gone. Oh no, our powers came back, right? How does it know where to go, right?
Yeah.
And like, so most people seem to have gotten their powers, but some folks got someone else's power, and that's literally it.
Yeah, powers got switched, like fire and ice.
Yeah, fire and ice. But also, some people's powers just didn't go to any person.
Yes.
They went to someone else elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh. But for me, I was really thrown off because I thought Barry had his powers because he was in Flash.
Yeah. No, no. Barry loses his powers, but Flash takes place right before Absolute Power happens.
Except the end of that says, by the way, like look for Barry and everybody in Absolute Power 4, specifically number 4.
Right. Yeah, don't think about it. That's so now it's definitely a Marvel event, but like no, yeah, don't worry about it. That's what they want you to do. They don't care.
Yeah. Well,
they're like we didn't coordinate with Spurrier and he didn't want to play.
That's fine. Except he normally does. I love.
Maybe he was like, I'm X-Men out. I'm not doing.
I can't do.
I'm not doing more of this time.
This is my story. This is the story I wanted to do. I can't help it. Your absolute power decided to like just go down.
Exactly.
Anyway, I don't think about it.
Don't think about it.
I love the idea of like some rando out there with like Flash powers.
I don't like that idea because it means they're a god. They could do anything,
right?
If you ask Ethan,
I think that's kind of fun. You know, like you could literally, got like task force. You could make a task force to go and find these people.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah.
Task Force P.
Right.
That's terrible.
You know what happens if they did that and someone else has speedster powers, like some part of that power will imprint onto them so they can be a new speedster that'll join the team. Like, because there's always another speedster.
Right.
But so this is, Waller's taken down. She has a big, stupid supervillain monologue where she's like, I'd kidnap 1,000 children before I let this company die. And then they, water news her. And so, okay, you're revealed. All your disinformation campaign is over. And now you're in a prison cell and maybe we put a bomb in your neck, but probably not. And but you don't know. And so bye. And so she's in a prison somewhere, and she's just like, I won't be used for a long time.
Well, she doesn't have her memories.
Yes. Well, you almost have your memories.
Because Dreamer moved them around.
Yep. So now they're just on the tip of your tongue. You know them, but you can't remember them. So it makes you nuts. And it's like, yeah, that's fun, because then you just set her up later. Like she's like, you can literally have a moment where Amanda Waller is just like, I remember. And then you're like, oh no.
Yeah. And like, okay, so I like the airwave thing.
Yeah.
But like, here's why I kind of don't like the airwave thing, right? I love that airwave gets a moment at the end. It's like used for their powers, but like airwave has a second like during this event where he's just like, I'm just a guy, I don't have any powers, and then he's celebrated at the end for having his powers. And I'm like, no, he needs you to do something heroic before that.
Yes,
to be like, I am worthy of being, and I guess maybe just showing up was the heroic thing, because the fact is, given this situation, not everybody would show up, but I thought that was kind of funny. And I was like, I mean, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
He did his thing.
That's what, that's why I think this book is so successful, because there are moments like we just mentioned 3 things where it's like, what? But also you just had so much fun that it doesn't matter. You're like, I was delighted. So I recommend Absolute Power. I think it was a fantastic DC event. It was great fun, and I hope people enjoy it.
Yeah, and like good for Nightwing.
Yeah,
I was
stepping up.
I always want to call him Dick.
Well, why not? That's his name.
I know.
Don't wear it out.
For taking charge of this one.
Yep.
There is a panel in this book, and I literally I really want to take. I didn't want to, because I didn't want to be in bad faith, because I thought it was just a funny joke. But I was afraid someone would take it like in bad faith. But there's a panel where I think Nightwing or someone else says, like, you know, we got to make way for Batman. He's like, he matters the most or something like that. And I'm like, oh, is this the DC marketing plan?
Yeah, I love that. That's very true, though. And they're not wrong. And I like the meta-textually saying that. But then, no, Batman loses it. Like, he can't reach the thing he needs. And so Green Arrow gets the shot.
Yeah.
And then the book ends with them going, like, Green Arrow being like, I betrayed the League to do my lone gunman kind of move where I like was going to betray Man Waller. Obviously, I was working for you guys the whole time. Sorry about all the bad stuff that happened as a result of me being a dipshit.
Talk about Wade making sure we don't character assassinate him by going like he was a Manchurian candidate.
Yeah.
And that like...
Yeah, I had Jean make me believe that I was actually a bad guy until the 0 hour.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
I think that's pretty brilliant.
Yeah, it was.
Like,
but I love them being like,
I love
them being like, Ollie, God damn it. Like, why you got to do that? Like, why you got to be like that? And he's like, it's because you idiots didn't create the League. And they're like, we read all in.
Well, I mean, like that, but this happens before that, right? Yeah. This happens before that. So
right before it. Well, 52 days before it, I guess.
He's helping to make this happen.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, that's part of how we get to this point.
Right?
I don't know. I'm trying so hard to find this panel because it made me like, I literally couldn't help. I was just laughing to myself.
And there's you agree to Green Lantern Flash team up, which is
cute. That's really fun.
That was fun.
That was really fun. I love when like the Flash family shows up, but that to me makes it seem like this is on the heels of Flash because they've been away.
Yeah. I also like that they were like, oh, and you know, I love that Amanda Waller's like big Hail Mary play is to like use the multiverse, and so as a result, the multiverse is cut off from the DC universe. And they're like, that's enough.
Sorry, it's Aquaman yelling at.
Yeah, make way for Batman.
Buy him time. Nothing else matters right now. And I was like,
yeah, that needs to be like memed. Make way for Batman. That's like that is the Black Label approach. Hi, I've got a really good idea. It's a like old, like, I don't know, Gran Torino meets the Rogues kind of story where the Flash Rogues are gonna like Ocean's 11 grills.
Okay.
Yeah. Make way for Batman. Nothing else matters right now.
Okay. Or
we could do something else. Nope.
No, I'm thinking no.
We could, but we'd also like to make money.
And then we have to make room for Batman.
And we have to make room for Batman. Nothing else matters right now. So yeah, it's great.
It is great.
Fun moment.
It is. I'll never get a screenshot.
Just do the button.
My buttons don't work like that because I have a different phone than you.
Anyway,
it was by the way, yeah. I think we've already talked about it. Like the art is
gorgeous. It's a gorgeous book.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, it looks so good. No, I agree. I love it. So yeah, we read DC All In Special #1. We have a copy. Thank you. It's available right here. Well,
you can't have our
copy. You can't have it because we have it.
This is the copy that
this is written by Joshua Williamson and Scott Snyder with art by Daniel Sampere, Wes Craig, and Dan Mora.
Heck yeah.
2 stories in one. You get one story from Superman's perspective and one story from Darkseid's perspective, all culminating in one big, spectacular, joint, double-page splash. This is the ground zero for what's happening in the DC universe. And it's really, it's a neat idea. The idea that like, A, your initiative is this big and has like this fun little gimmick. And B, that they pulled it off.
I know. Because that's not easy necessarily to do.
No, there's actually a moment I cut out of, there's a back issues of this episode that's dropping on Wednesday. And by the way, that's all I'll say. But yeah, this is dropping on Wednesday, but there's a moment where like I talk about that where I'm like, it's really cool that like they did this and it was hard to do. It's hard to pull off. And Ben just goes, no, like, I mean, you could do this. Like he just completely robbed them of their like accolade. Like he's like, no, like they should be able to do this. Like,
wow.
What? He didn't want to give him an inch. just like, this is hard to do. And he's like, but why should it be? And I'm like, okay. Mr. Publisher over here.
Mr. Printer.
Yeah, exactly. But I do also like, I thought that was funny because it's like, that's what these guys do. They convince you that they can do anything. But yeah, so first of all, Daniel Sampere and Wes Craig's art are both fantastic. They are perfectly suited for each other's stories. Sampere, giving you a bright, happy Booster Gold and Superman laden story, depicting action and characters interacting with each other and setting up like the status quo and all that. That's fun. Wes Craig's dark, gritty, almost Daniel Warren Johnson.
Thank you. Literally, I opened this up and I was like, well, I guess D-Dubs was busy.
Yeah, no, I'm glad he was, because I thought that Wes Craig was like really just swinging for it, and I think he nailed it. Like, it's just a gorgeous looking book, and it's really, really cool and really fun. It capitalizes on some moments that I've never thought I'd ever see that are just amazing, just and amazingly depicted. Dark Side Story was really compelling and cool and fun and interesting, and yeah. Setting up the status quo for the DC universe, we'll see if there's like much, if any, like implications. Like, there's the membership card, and there's where Darkseid went, and the birth of the Absolute Universe, of course, as a result of this book. So if you want to see the first official appearance of Absolute Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman, they're in this. This is technically their first appearance. Darkseid story, he makes a great machine that helps him in his quest to become more powerful and knowledgeable, so that he can actually get the answers to his questions that have been plaguing him since the end of Dark Crisis.
Doesn't he just need what's his name's chair?
The Mobius chair. Yeah, don't worry about that. Don't think about that.
I'm just saying, like, wouldn't that be easier than merging with the Spectre? By the way, for some reason, putting the Spectre in this makes me automatically think of late 90s, early 2000s, and like I feel like I don't want to take this away from any like of the creators at all. Like certainly not Snyder or Williamson, because I know that Josh is very tied into like the events from that time period. But like it automatically makes me think of like the weight effect on them. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like Spectre is like this character who like hasn't like had a book forever, but like there was a period of time where there was. Yeah, Yeah, no, that's true. Sorry, by the way, bring back the Spectre book and bring back J.M.D. Mateus to write it, because he used to write the Spectre book and it was great. But yeah, actually, I want you to talk about it, because I talked about it for like 2 hours on a show that's coming out on Wednesday, so I thought I'd get your perspective on this book. Okay, you want to lead me in here, or which part do you want to talk about? I think look, if you give a crap about membership cards and powers, then you're gonna be excited about the Superman story. All right, let's talk about this really quickly, right? Because here's my really quick take on this whole book. I really had a good time, and I enjoyed the way that they met together. And admittedly, when I got to the center of the book and like you're like, big splash face was there, and when I read the other side and I got there, it was still just like I was like, oh wow, it was still just as exciting. It worked really well, and I was like, that's really great. The membership card thing is so weird to me. I can't quite put my finger on what the problem is with it. It just seems like such a MacGuffin. It seems like such a weird MacGuffin when Absolute just went ahead and told you like, hey, you could do this whole thing with like a bunch of heroes who do and do not have powers. Yes. But hey, let's focus on membership cards. And then let's make the membership card the like key like to way which you can get from one place to the other universe was. And I'm like, very, very strange. But also very, very 90s. Yeah, I guess like that's true. But the fact that you can get a membership card at your local comic book store, a membership card, and by the way, like who is like the like most important character here? Booster Gold. It's Booster. Like, there's just so much about this where I'm just like, okay, the nostalgia vibes are real. Yeah, here they are, which I think is so interesting, right? Because this is such a like forward-facing book. I'm putting that in air quotes because it's a really stupid thing to say, and I'm going to explain it. Not that it's like not actually that. But like this is a book that's setting up something brand new. Yes. Right. But also plays on nostalgia. Yes. We've got Booster Gold. We've got membership cards. Spectre. We've got the Spectre showing up. Like, I'm like, what is happening? I think that's actually a perfect encapsulation of what this is supposed to be. And here it is. It is Rebirth meets New 52. Yeah. It is something new and something old. Yep. And when I say old, I mean classic. It's a way to say to all readers, this is for you. If you are tired of continuity, if you're sick of all the old stuff, or you're sick of just like not knowing the continuity or any of the context for whatever's happening, or you don't want context, but you want something fresh and interesting and different, then jump into the Absolute Universe and enjoy those books, because not only are you getting 3 books, you're getting like 5 books. Like, there's going to be more books. They have bigger plans coming. We saw art for The Flash. Yeah. And it looks dope, by the way. Right. But can I keep listing off things that are 90s related? Sure, yeah. Zariel. Yeah.
No, Zariel, Blaze, membership cards, Booster Gold,
Yeah,
Spectre,
Eclipso. I'm like,
the Heart of Darkness being referenced and shown.
it's like you can't get away from these nostalgia
Like, I'm
bombs.
surprised the Bloodlines monsters didn't appear in this.
And, admittedly, I will say this is like a really fun distillation of DC without like it's like, yay, do you know what this is? Good for you. Do you not know what this is? Enjoy
That's
the
okay.
book. Like, I'm actually pretty impressed with how they handle it.
Yeah, no,
And can
it
we
is
just
expertly handled.
give it up for this page.
The Burning Holes page.
Burning Holes page.
As I understand it, a bitch to make, but worth it.
Why?
It's just hard to coordinate because this lines up.
I
with the other
know.
pages. Like, it's hard.
All right. Fair.
It lines up perfectly.
Oh.
No, we found out in the episode. Like,
oh shit,
Ben makes sure that it lines up, and he's like, "Okay, that's awesome."
I mean,
it's not to spoil the episode, which you can check out on Patreon.com.
Yeah, no, actually, that's pretty amazing. Yo, Calabac,
you idiot.
R.I.P. man.
And the thing is, he'll be back. There's a lot of characters that bite it in this book.
I'm sure. That one, I was just kind of like Calabac, thinking he's just like, no, I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah, well, that's what he is. He's a fanatic, and he wants his father's approval.
Yeah, and
you idiot. What? That never works out for you. But
okay.
yeah,
and everyone's like, ooh.
I guess I'll just exit stage left even.
Yeah,
lest your machine need more blood.
Additionally, I really love when on the this side of it,
the absolute side.
The absolute side. It doesn't really. It's just all in whatever. On the absolute side, though, when Darkseid is fighting the heroes,
yes,
because like in that fight on the Superman side, he doesn't really seem present.
No.
And I'm really glad I read it that way because that explained it. Because I was just like, he's seeing the Spectre.
Yeah.
He doesn't even care. He is talking to the Spectre.
Yes.
And just like all he sees is the Spectre, and all he can do is talk to the Spectre. The heroes mean nothing to him.
Yeah.
And I love that because they're just like, oh my God, Darkseid. Like, all right, cool. Look at us. We've made the show everyone remembers and likes. It's the Justice League Unlimited, which I remembered immediately that I saw that at New York Comic Con as a book. I didn't know they were going to literally say it out loud. But like,
no, the name of the book is, they're calling themselves
I know,
that.
but here, I didn't expect them to be like, and behold, we're the Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah,
I guess. And like immediately they're like, oh no,
yeah,
Darkseid's here. We have like all the heroes and we are not prepared.
There's also a moment where Darkseid immediately appears and Superman goes, he emerged with the Spectre. And I'm like, what gave you that what gave you that impression?
Right.
There's almost nothing that says that.
Reasons?
You just we talk about that a lot in the episode. I don't want to give it away, but like it's just really funny. But it was just like he shows up with like a blue cloak with an axe hand, and Superman's like, Spectre. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a conclusion to jump to. But yeah, expert action, expert characterization. Booster Gold ends up lost again. Another story about like where's Booster Gold?
Right. But
which
like
is fun.
Yeah, it is fun. He's a man at a time.
Always.
In this, he's like thinking like, well, maybe I'm gonna head home. Maybe I'm gonna go back, and it's fine. Come on, what are we gonna do, Skeets? And the Skeets is like, hey, we actually can't do that now.
Yeah, because the future's all messed up.
Yeah, and you're gonna be here, and oops.
Yeah.
And like here are all these like other crazy heroes.
Right.
That.
It's the Legion. It's the Legion of superheroes, but they're corrupted now because Darkseid must have succeeded. Like Darkseid went off to the absolute universe, made his universe, and then I guess because he says, well, once I'm fully formed, I'm gonna go back there. I'm gonna mess it up. And it's like, I guess he does.
Right.
At least.
Which is kind of fun because we see his like the Legion ring.
Yeah.
As like an Omega ring.
Exactly.
And I'm like, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Oh, it's cool. The Omega Legion, if you will.
Yeah, fine.
So yeah, I'm down. I love this idea, and I think it's a really fun initiative. It will entirely depend on the creative teams to see if any of this stuff carries over until they decide to pay it off.
Sure.
Because like, I would be surprised to see Booster in an Absolute Wonder Woman book.
Can we talk about this? All right. So first of all,
time jump.
There's two like really fantastic last pages coming from each. Like the page right before the big splash. Look through that and realize the fact that both of these artists were given very similar instructions and had to pick them slightly differently. Especially those last two panels. You got the ring, and it's like you're going to see the ring and you're going to see Booster Gold. You're going to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just very similar stuff. We're leading you right up to it. I love that. Two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up with the time jump?
I think that's great. That's fun. And
what is it?
The guys didn't friggin' couldn't wrap their heads around it. When Booster okay, there's a moment where the League, where the Trinity talks about
I remember that
how they need to send somebody back, and then Booster Gold volunteers. After Booster Gold goes and arrives
It's like he didn't exist.
It's like he didn't go back. Like time for the main Justice League for the Prime DC universe rolls back to before Booster volunteers.
So is Booster still in this universe?
Booster has already left, and then time like overwrote that. So as far as the Trinity goes, Booster never left, but Booster never entered the room. But he did. Like, he already left.
Is that what it is?
I think that's what it is.
I thought it was that they were either stuck in a loop or that Booster no longer existed in that universe.
It could be that Booster doesn't exist, but I think Booster has always existed. I think they would be like, where is Booster? I think one day you'll see a book where they're like, where's Booster? But like, I think it's that it rolled back to before Booster left. Like, Booster left,
right,
and then it rolled back so that nobody asked him to leave in the first place, so they don't know to look for him.
Right. I'm gonna put it out there that I think what it is that none of them will remember Booster existed, and Skeets will return, and they'll be like, "What the hell?
Who are
this?
you?" Yeah, interesting.
That would be my pitch.
Yeah,
for that. If you're gonna make a Where is Booster Gold, it's gonna be like, who's Booster Gold?
Yeah, that sounds like fun. That's a fun reveal. That's a fun moment, you know, and that will be the like the kind of like undercurrent of the mainline DC Prime universe,
right?
Where it's like, look, if you love continuity, if you love history, if you like these characters, this is your bread and butter.
Yeah,
like a big mystery, a big potential crisis heading your way.
Yeah.
And if you like new stuff, go over there, and it'll all roll into each other. And hopefully be part of one, not that like they're gonna implode or merge.
Yeah.
But like they'll be part of the DC multiverse. Right now they're not. They're separate from it. Like the Absolute Universe is outside of it and infused with Darkseid energy. So it's not even part of it.
Okay.
So that'll be fun to see.
So like I love this. I love when artists do this, where it's like Wes Craig after Perez. And I was like, yep, that is what that's giving for sure.
Absolutely.
And like, I mean, look at her.
Yeah. No.
Look at her.
She was the fan favorite on the couch as well, where it's like Hellhorse.
Yeah.
Buster Sword.
Yep.
Dope tats.
Yeah. You know what it is? It's because like everybody wants her to be cool.
Yeah.
Everyone wants her to be so cool. And like for me, my favorite version of her is when she's embracing magic or mythology. And
yeah,
so,
you like Azzarello or Tynan as far as Wonder Woman's concerned.
There we are. So for me, that's perfection. But I have no doubt that Batman's going to be incredible.
It is.
That Superman's going to be great.
Like, I have no idea. We couldn't even friggin' figure out what the hell Superman's all about. But all I know is Jason Aaron's writing it, so I'm in.
Right.
And it's going to be gorgeous looking.
Yeah. So listen, I'm excited for this. Like, I didn't think this was going to get me.
Yeah.
But I was reading it. I was like, I literally read it last night.
Mm-hmm.
You gave me the book and I sat very quietly and I read. I did have questions about the thing that really, I started with this side. I was like, the freaking membership card. I was like, stop with this. Why does Batman suddenly have a different costume? And then he doesn't.
The membership card gives him a new costume.
It's just, that's so dumb.
I don't think it's dumb.
I do.
Well, then I guess you're more of an Absolute fan. I guess you'll enjoy the Absolute Universe.
I guess I will.
And I'll just keep reading the main DC Universe.
I'm sure.
And the Absolute Universe.
And that too. It's just so, because he has it and then it's gone.
Yeah, I know.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I know. There's too much great art in this. Like Craig and Sampere did amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, they really
did
crushed
such a good job. And I love when Zatanna and the other magical users are speaking and they're doing the backwards, but it's actually not backwards, it's upside down.
Yeah.
Love it.
I wonder if this page corresponds with what's being said.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh crap, that's a really good question. I'd have to like count it out. I can't do that.
No.
Oh wait, no, I can. Go ahead.
Yeah,
you can continue.
But yeah, that's it. It's just it's a dope book. It's available in comics book stores. Although I will say it's sold out at the distributor level, so a second printing is on the way. So you'll be able to check it out. If you want to get those membership cards, you can go to your local comic book store. I think they're going to do 3 of them. So you can get Batman right now, and then the next one is another one. I think it's just the 3 of them. I don't remember.
No.
And then you're going to get an Omega card. Okay, it doesn't.
No. Yes. Oh my God. That's how they know it's the Spectre, because they say it.
Oh, because
this is literally the conversation he's having with Jim Corrigan.
Yes.
Like he says, finally, I'll know the truth. That's what Zatanna says. And then I think that's Hal actually.
Yeah, Hal
says like, because you will tell it to me, Jim Corrigan, the Spectre.
There you go.
Darkseid. And then we don't see the rest of that, but then they say like, oh, wow. Yeah. Live reaction.
What a cool book. It's really cool that like they pulled this off.
Okay,
and I hope people are like
yeah,
excited
yeah,
about
yeah,
the
yeah. No,
initiative.
see, this is getting me more excited. I just read this. I just read the story and I just took that
Most
in. And
people
I was
did,
like
yeah.
really hooked up on the membership card thing. But like this type of stuff, this is what would make it insane to do this.
Yeah.
We'd be trying to match these things up where it's like, all right, Sampere, on your pages, this page, this is the dialogue that has happened. You have to have it in this many panels. Craig, you have to have this conversation end on this page so that they like meet up here. Okay, they're going to be laid out in this way so that they are here and here. And
right. And yet they also look like they are kind of going for it. Like, it doesn't look like they feel like they're limited.
Yeah. Dang. But yeah, that's how you can tell that's how like Superman must figure it out.
Yeah.
Because they mention the Spectre.
Exactly.
So
That's fair.
All
right.
There it is.
Yeah. So check it out. But otherwise, let's jump into some super chats. Oh, but what's the book of the week?
I guess it's all in.
I think it's all in.
It just became all in. Like I was gonna give it up to maybe Black Panther because it's been like so like strong. It's been so consistent.
Yeah.
And I was also like, but like Absolute ended well. But
Absolute
just
Power.
from talking about this, I'm like, it's all in.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's
it has to be all in.
because it's an achievement. It's
This
not
is a
just
printing achievement.
It's a
for
printing
me.
achievement. It's a creative achievement. The guys who worked on it all like just gave it their all and worked together. It's a great a testament to collaboration.
Yeah.
By the way, we tried. I reached out to Kelly Thompson about doing an interview, but I haven't heard back.
That's okay. I understand.
I know. I understand.
I
Too.
understand. I
But
freaking
I
I love Caliban being like, look, Dad,
Look, I did it.
I made a big army for you.
I don't care.
Do you love me now?
No, I never will. But I don't care. Well, actually, you could help me out by dying.
What?
That way I can get something else I want that isn't you.
Okay.
That way I can be creative. That's what I want. I just want to be
you,
creative.
Dad.
Good. Yeah. Here, I'm gonna kill you with my stump.
I won't even remember that it was you.
I will not. I won't make a new you.
Dude, can we talk about the deep cut that is apparently Darkseid's wife?
Yeah.
And how much that like made my brain like twist where I was
like what?
I'm like, what woman?
Yeah.
Also, damn Eclipso. I didn't know Eclipso had that much power.
Yeah, he's super powerful. I mean, he was the original Angel of Death.
I know.
Yeah, no, I was wrong.
If it literally wasn't because of the boom tube, he would have been. But like
he's
done.
Oh, I know. They'll be back.
This little crystal's still there.
Yeah, Hard Darkness still exists, so you're good. He'll be back. But that's cool. But they'll all be back. Calabac will be back.
Yeah. Sure.
Like we selectively killed characters that could definitely come back.
Oh, okay.
I do think that good Darkseid having an axe hand is stupid.
It's always interesting to me what hells they decide to go to.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
Trigon there. Yeah.
But Blaze front and center because she was the big demon bat, except for Neron, who was in charge of his own event.
Yeah.
And Zariel. Yay. Anyway, so let's jump into some super chats.
Yeah, let's do that.
Grumpy Goat says, listening to the ComicPop episodes gets me through many a work shift. A great stories put on my reading radar, the spectacle of a bad story, the creator anecdotes and industry history, chef's kiss. Well, thank you, Grumpy Goat. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's
thank you so
awesome.
much. That's very kind of you. And enjoy your day. Thorn Identity Testing, thank you very much for checking it out. I'm glad you worked out. The super chats worked out for you.
Yeah, thank you.
But thank you for always supporting us. We do appreciate it. MNM has Sal been reading Predator versus Black Panther? I like the premise, but I'm still not having as much fun with it as Predator versus Wolverine. Same. I appreciate it, but I haven't. I fell off. I still am getting the book because I want there to be more like Predator crossovers.
Yeah.
So but it is not. It's not wowing me. I also don't like the trend that they have right now of it takes 3 or 4 artists to do one issue of these crossovers.
Yeah.
Vin Swent, thank you for your support. I'm sorry if we missed your message. It's not in the thingy, but let me know by not doing another super chat. Just put it in the chat now. Dan Dragon, thank you for generosity. Thank you very much. And let's see. Hey, Sal and Tiffany just finished reading Ultimate Spider-Man and X-Men. Wanted to know your opinion on the Elseworld comic that they announced from DC. Will you do a back issues on the Absolute Trinity when their first arcs are all done? Probably. It would make sense for me to talk about the Absolute arcs. I think that's a great idea.
You?
Well, at least one of them.
Yeah.
Do Batman.
I'm gonna I want to do Wonder Woman.
Well, you're welcome.
I bet I want to do Wonder Woman.
I bet you do too. But yeah, and as far as the Elseworld comic that they announced from DC, I mean, I'm excited to see any Elseworlds books. Though I will say I wasn't a big fan of the new Gotham by Gaslight. But I did drop it very early, so maybe it picked up.
Maybe picked up. Yeah.
A Secret Boss. A good day from a fellow Salad. That was a term that Tom King coined. He was like, what does your audience call you? Salads or salinators? I was like, no, man, it's part of the population. He was like, oh, that sounds kind of culty. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. But anyway, But yes, I read an article that Peter will never get married again. According to Tom Brevoort, will the success of Ultimate Spider-Man change that? Absolutely not. No,
but
he will never get married.
Leadership will.
Yes, but leadership will eventually go away and change. I will say, I think that no, you won't see Peter Parker get married in the 616 universe again, but you do have a 6160 Peter Parker married to Mary Jane, and a Mary Jane that they won't like screw up like they are right now.
Yeah.
So, enjoy the Ultimate Universe and just keep buying it. Keep outselling Amazing Spider-Man with it. T480 ComicPop is great. Well, thank you very much, T. Appreciate it, man. Tinfoil Tyrant, we are no longer the knights who say knee. We are now the knights who say eki eki, pitang, pitzoom, boing. Thank you for your Monty Python reference. Chocobo Kid, congrats on and best of luck on this week. Well, thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. Curative Writer just found Mud Pack #1 at my local comic shop and had the poster. Still got the blank JSU card. Nice. Also got the blank JSU card. Awesome. Oh crap! It's already out there. I didn't.
You got
know.
the blank one.
Oh, I need that.
Well, that might have been. Maybe that was the luck of the draw, right?
No, it was just Batman's.
It was only Batman's?
Yeah.
I thought they made other ones. Why would it only be Batman?
Because they're rolling out with these cards. the next one's supposed to be a different one. It's supposed to get people to go into comic book stores every week. Girk Pectus, did you hear UE released a bunch of Ninja Turtles game assets for free so anyone can make a TMNT game? Only catch, they have to pay Paramount 90 or 15% of the profit.
I did hear this.
I did not hear that.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah. I was like, so we can make our own Turtles game.
Really?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, okay. That sounds great.
Let's do it.
Jasper Pasco. Hi, Tiff and Sal.
Hello.
What are your thoughts on the new JL status quo? Feels nicely reminiscent of the greatest hits of the DC animated universe. Big time. Yeah. I hope it's great.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I think that folk are going to probably go back and read World's Finest because of this book. I think they're going to be like, wow, like I think you're going to be impressed by Wade's attention to detail and his like storytelling prowess.
Yeah.
Even though it's like, for me, like one of the last things I read from Wade that had nothing to do with DC was Doctor Strange. And I just didn't like it. But like he was trying to do something different and it just wasn't the right fit. And that's what it comes down to. Like sometimes it has nothing to do with the skill of the writer. It has to do with the fit of the writer with the book.
Absolutely.
So anyway, moving on. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's right. Hulkzilla, you mentioned Court of Owls, and I immediately think of Ethan pretend shanking Sal while aggressively hooting like an owl. I think that's so funny. It killed me. Literally. Read the freaking comics. Love you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I love that name.
Yeah, that's a great name. King of New York, ComicPop Woo to you as well. Last Batman Volume 1 I read was Batman of Gotham. Is Zur-En-Arrh still around? No. Also, I don't recall why Jim stopped being commissioner. It was a long time ago, like well before, like even I think James Tynion the fourth run was where it happened. The Penguin show is great. I hear it's great. I haven't had time to sit down and watch the show. Arduit, ComicPop Woo, sending positivity y'all's way. Well, thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
You too, man. Matt Fisher. So Waller's got a bomb in her head. What happens to the Suicide Squad now? Also, hello to you too, Matt. I don't know. I think I'd like to see a Suicide Squad that doesn't have Waller in it, or maybe they're like, what do we do now? Woo! Like, or somebody else takes over.
They're not going to be able to resist putting her on one.
There you go.
Which I hope they don't. Like, give it some time.
Yeah, please.
Because that's going to be that'd be a great moment.
Yeah,
but
it's a good pitch.
It's got to wait.
Yes. Matt Fisher, sorry if I jumped ahead. I just got here. No, you're good, man.
Hello.
Z-Berm, as someone who isn't into horror, I only have a few graphic novels. I got to say, I loved Hyde Street. It's the first horror comic I'm going to read monthly, which I'm pretty excited about.
Very nice. Very nice. Cool. I did not get a chance to grab that.
No.
There's so much excitement for All In.
Yes, that's true. Kieran Weisenberg, sup, ComicPop? What's up with you, man? Happy spooky season. Is Tiffany planning on playing any horror games this month? Hope y'all are doing well. Thanks. Yes.
I just actually finished up the playthrough of the OG Silent Hill 2 in order to get ready for tomorrow's drop of the remake of Silent Hill 2. So if you are around tomorrow and another day, I don't know when.
Yeah,
it's gonna be tomorrow. It's gonna be tomorrow though, for sure. We're gonna play that game. I'm really hoping it just hits all the right notes for me. Can't wait.
Agree.
Cannot wait.
King Sport Cal, when nerds say they can't find love, I show them this. Well, thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. We did.
Poke.
Josh Wallabaugh, prediction Absolute Power closes the multiverse continuity connoisseur. Josh Williamson will bring it back in Absolute Crisis, aka Infinite Crisis. Absolute Crisis is a great name.
That's a great name. That's happening.
That's happening. We'll see. Dan V900, thanks for your generosity. Dio getting his revenge on Nightwing. In I Know What You Did Last Crisis was funny. The world would be so much better if Nightwing died in Infinite Crisis. Apparently, DC really let him write that. I didn't read it.
I didn't read that either.
But that sounds about right.
I just love that name for that book.
Yeah.
I Know What You Did Last Crisis. That's really good.
That is funny.
It's really good.
Cat Lord for treats between Krakoa, Ultimate Absolute, and even from Image. I'm loving the era of huge collabs. I'd love a retrospective on these initiatives from Styles and Day. Me too.
Yeah.
I would love to do it. Thank you. Charles Billings, I took a 3-hour bus trip to see back issues live in New Jersey. Thanks to the chips.
Thanks for the
chips. Anytime, man. Have you guys read Dawn Runner? It's Ram V's Evangelion and Evan Kagel's art made me an instant fan for life. No.
You just said a lot of words I like.
Yeah. Right? And thanks for taking the bus 3 hours. I'm sorry about that, but I hope you had a good time at the show. That was a fun show.
Why do I keep hitting this?
I'd love to keep doing more of them. But Dawn Runner. We'll keep an eye out for that.
Yes.
Matt Fisher, you have no idea how happy I was to see Zariel. I'm sure a lot of people were excited to see Zariel. Also, if the B-line of the Bloodlines monster showed up to,
I'd be worried
for Ethan's sanity. That's funny. Keep an eye out. Danvy 900, congrats again for the Terminator comic. Thank you very much. I added it to my pull list when you said you were writing the backup. I'm rewatching Terminator 0 subbed now, and if you didn't finish the show, it's great. We did. We just finished the show. And it is a good show for the most part.
So I don't like all the anime-isms in
a lot
it.
of anime in there. And anime we watched.
I liked that a lot.
Yeah.
You watched an anime with me.
I did.
Secret anime.
Yeah, that's right. And there were moments I'm like, you can't help yourselves. You can't just do an adaptation or something.
What are you talking about? It's great.
Yep. There she goes.
It's fantastic.
King of New York, when all the heroes attack Darkseid, I was thinking to myself, what are both the Robins going to do against the Darkseid who bonded with the Spectre? LMAO. The membership cards, they soup them up.
I assume in that moment, you're like, well, listen, if the Darkseid is bonded with the Spectre, like, I'm either going to die here or later. So I might as well just try.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Like, and if you're working with Batman, you
have something in your pocket.
The fact is, Nightwing's ego and appropriate assessment of his abilities, I think, is also part of his superpowers. He's like,
wait, you mean Damian?
Oh, I thought you said Nightwing.
No, he said the Robins.
Oh, the Robins. I apologize.
Yeah. No, Nightwing's great.
Oh, well, no. Yeah. Damian's like, well, obviously.
Yeah. Damian probably thinks he could beat.
Do you know who my grandfather is?
Yes.
Do you know who my mother is?
We all do.
Do you know who my father is?
Oh my God.
I can do everything.
You are like the original Nepo baby. Near Ravel, I'm just sending a quick message as a thank you. The last month has been extremely hard for me, and the ComicPop backlog really helped me through it. Well, I'm glad we could, man. Thanks for being here.
Better.
Yeah, I hope so. Genuine, thank you. Matt Fisher, have you considered doing World War III on the couch? Yes, I just need to. Yeah, I read it a long time ago, and I was like, I don't even know what happened. Metaphor, hey Silent Tiff, with all the Spectre talk, have you ever read Gotham by Midnight? Good for back issues. Can't wait to grab my Terminator #1. Grats. Thank you very much.
I did. I think I read the first volume of that.
Yeah. No way.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's cool. Danby 900.
Done that.
Oh no. Yeah. Well, you still could. I'll shout out Get Fury 6 by Ennis and Jason Burrows, who is the new Steve Dillon with his style. It's great, but bleak. Hard to believe. It feels like the end of Ennis writing Fury and Frank, honestly. Probably. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he was wrapping up with those characters, certainly. But thank you for your generosity, man. So let's get into some recommendations for comics that are coming out this week that we think you should check out. The Ultimate's #5. Hooray! Like this book. Definitely check this out. The Ultimate's good. Absolute Batman #1 is dropping.
What?
Finally. And it's cool. It's a cool book. Definitely worth buying.
What?
I'm going to try to catch up, but I probably won't because this week is hell for me. Great hell, but still a lot of work. Batman Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age #5. I need to finish this book. I will probably just read the whole trade because the next issue is the last issue. Blade is getting a new series from Brian Hill.
Oh, Brian Hill.
It's Red Band. So.
I might pick that. I mean, listen.
I know Brian Hill's doing a great job with Black Panther.
Yeah.
So his Blade is cool. And Carlos Fabian Vilo.
Vila.
Evia is doing Blade.
Yeah.
Space Ghost 6, obviously, great book, good looking series from Jonathan Lee Lau.
Lau.
My freaking contacts are not working.
I noticed
And
that.
David Pepos. And Public Domain number 9.
This
from
one's by
Zdarsky.
Chip Zdarsky. I don't know if
Thank
you. Can
you.
read
Yeah,
that.
I'm aware of who Chip Zdarsky is, of all people. But yeah, I'm hyped for those.
Amazing. Look at this Venom comic trying hard to get me to buy this.
They're like, buy Venom 38. Come on.
I'm like, no.
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 Oh, X-Force. I'm sorry.
Excuse me. That was my pull. Get off.
Go ahead.
X-Force number 4 is coming out this week.
Yay.
Written by Jeff Thorne with art by Marcus Toe. Definitely be reading that one.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give another shot to Exceptional X-Men. E-viewing Carmen Carnero on that one.
Yep.
See how it goes.
Oh, Spider-Man Black Suit and Blood is coming out.
Number 3.
Number 3. I missed the last ones, but Al Ewing doing Spider-Man. Come on, I'll check that out.
You gotta. I feel like you have to.
Yeah.
Who's doing this?
I don't know.
There's a Venom War Wolverine book.
Yeah.
Terminator number 1 is coming out this week. It's by Declan Shalvey, Sal Crivelli, Colin Craker, and Luke Sparrow. So I'm gonna be picking that up. That was really weird to say. I gotta tell you.
Yeah, I left it for you. I wanted.
Thank you. I hope
largely
so.
self-serving for me to do it.
Well, I guess. I mean, like, what else could I want to pick up after that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like nothing. Nothing is no. That's the biggest book. That's the book of the week next week.
Oh, definitely.
I can already tell you.
I feel like that would be very.
That's my book of the week next
thank
week.
You. That's very kind.
That's what's happening. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
You don't.
Well, you read it. You know what?
I know. That's why it's my book of the week.
I should warn you, folks. By the way, that it's a 10-page story broken up 2 pages at a time per issue. So
and I love those.
If
you
you feel
pages.
like it breezes, like if you're like, it's only 2 pages. So
yeah, it's 2 pages per issue, and they were a great 2 pages.
Oh,
I can tell you that right now. I read them.
Thanks.
I read them. I'm sure Absolute Batman's gonna be fine, but that's my book. But the other one's the book of the week.
All right. And let's see here. We have a couple more super chats from Taylor. Love the Terminator comic. Shalvey's main story is great. Your backup is fun, but I need the next issue sooner. Tiff is cool too.
Oh, thank you.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you very much. I
like that I got a shout out for no reason. Thank you, Taylor.
You got the book. Who are you?
Maybe they work in a comic book store.
Maybe you do. That's great. Okay. I did have the preview. I was sharing it with a few people.
Like me.
Like you.
Thank you.
And thank you. RK, hey guys, a little late because of hurricane prep, but I'm glad I caught you all.
Stay safe out there.
Thank you very much, RK. Yeah, stay safe out there.
Hopefully it goes by quickly and without too much chaos and damage.
Exactly. But yeah, I just realized I didn't send Jeff a PDF. I should have done that.
You're garbage.
I know.
No,
I feel really
not.
bad. But
well, you
all
can
right.
do it right now.
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna.
I will.
Over. I will. All right. Well, we want to thank you so much for being here. Of course, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, click the bell for notifications. Thank you to the super chatters for sponsoring today's show, and thank you to the chat for being cool and respectful of each other and making this a fun, friendly place for everybody to hang out for a little while.
Yeah.
Big thanks to everybody. Thanks to Tiffany for hosting the show. And of course, if you want to see more Tiffany, go to youtube.com/ComicPop Plays or twitch.tv/ComicPop to check her out. Tuesday, tomorrow, she's going to be streaming the brand new remaster or remake.
It's a remake. It's not a
complete
remaster. It's a remake.
Round up of Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
And then if you want to meet me in New Jersey at Zap Comics in Wayne, New Jersey, between 5 and 7 p.m., I'll be there signing copies of Terminator number 1. I'll sign other stuff, but like you don't want me to devalue it, so just give me the Terminator books. And
so you can devalue that.
So I can devalue that one with my super signature. And and then of course make sure to be subscribed to this channel so you know when we go live on Friday of this week, the 11th, around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a brand new, all live, fully epic episode of All Stars with myself and Joshua Williamson. Really, really fun episode. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be great, but it's going to be live, so you can be there and ask questions.
Who knows what'll happen?
We don't know. We don't know. Maybe Chip will say something controversial.
Will he have clothes on?
If he shows up, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Chip is. I don't think we'd actually.
No, I know. I just.
We don't know who's available. Yeah, that one time that Chip was on this show. Go back to the archives and check out an episode where Chip Zdarsky was a special guest on this show, and he when I invited him,
it was warm.
Yeah, I invited him, and he was like, "I'm going to warn you, I'm going to be naked," and then he showed up, and he was, and I was like, I don't know what I was expecting.
I was there too.
Yeah,
and he was like,
he was only naked from the waist up, but
that was fine.
He's like, "Whoa, I don't have an air conditioner and it's hot." And I was like, "Thanks for being on the show." But yeah.
Chip with clothes pass.
Yeah, if you want to see a great hot picture of Chip Zdarsky besides this show, check him out. Google Chip Zdarsky Flash costume, and you will see you'll be in for a treat. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time with another episode here on Off the Rack and ComicPop Returns. Of course, if you want to say more, go to youtube.com/ComicPop and check out the brand new episode of Back Issues that's dropping on Wednesday, where we get all in on All In. So long, everybody.
Bye.